Soft, squishy balls. Some people do roll their feet with lacrosse balls, a firmer ball. It doesn't always have to hurt, and I think that's something that's kind of become a little bit of a trend with foam rolling, that we think that we need hard objects. You do not need hard objects, and you do not need to be in pain as you're doing them. So a softball works, and you might think that you don't feel anything. It's not about intensity. It's more about massaging those tissues, wakening up those tissues, and just making them feel good before you start a routine. So this foot routine is excellent for anyone who has sore feet, tired feet, lower limbs that tend to swell. It's great to do at the end of the day as well as the beginning of the day. So again, just soft, squishy balls. You actually only need one for what I'm going to show you today. So we're coming up to standing. And you're going to just start with the ball underneath the ball of the big toe. So you're just doing circles underneath the ball of the big toe. And as you're doing this, you want to make sure that you're not locking into your knees and that you're keeping the ball underneath you. People tend to start to have the foot go in front of them, and that's going to make it more difficult to keep the pressure into the ball as well as maintain your balance as you're doing it. From there, work your way across the balls of the toes. So I'm working across the balls of the toes and then working your way back. And I'm just doing little circles as I'm doing it. And you can go back and forth about 4 or 5 times. And you can spend as little as much time as you want doing the areas as I go through them. Next, we're going to roll the length of the foot. So I always like to start at the big toe and think about rolling the instep, the arch of the foot. And I'm just going back and forth, and I'm slowly working my way across to the outside of the foot. So depending on what is going on with your feet, for me, I really like to get underneath the outside of my foot because my foot gets a little squished. I've got a wide foot in my shoe, so it's nice to really get to the bottom of that area. And then I'm going to take the ball and place it under my heel. So first, I like to press down into the ball. And when I'm doing this, I am just picturing blowing up an air mattress, so I'm pumping up that pump with my heel. And then I'm going to do circles underneath the heel. And again, I'm being aware of my posture as I'm doing this. I'm making sure that I'm not locking into my knees. And I'm using my glute to stabilize through that standing hip. And often people will comment on how tired their standing leg is versus the leg that's doing all the work on the ball. And then at this point, I always just say, go and pay attention to anything you felt while doing that needs a little more attention. So today for me, it's the big toe, so I want to spend a little more time at the big toe. And then if you have any other spots, then you want to work through there. Then sometimes it's nice to just kind of stand, compare the 2 feet. Often people will say their foot feels softer, flatter. You're just waking up, you've encouraged blood flow to the area. So just paying attention and then repeating the entire sequence.